Hi everybody, here's your final round free video guide with tournament wins for the Woodland Retreat 9-hole cup. We're playing Expert Division. A thumb up would be, as always, massively appreciated, and make sure you are a subscriber if you've not clicked the button already. Totally free to do so. Plenty of drops here, as always though. Adapt and tweak. Play a couple of practice shots to get used to the setups and to tweak as needed for your club's ball and play style. Good luck everybody. Here we go. Timestamps down below if you need to skip back and forwards to any of the holes. Here we go. We're going to play with the APOC and the runner here. Make sure you've packed the runner before you start the hole. We're going to go with 5.8 top spin, 2 bars side spin to the left. Going to bounce over the rough here. So once you've added your spin, we're going to look at the second bounce, and you can see there it's going to be just offset left of the centre of the fairway and just into that tree shadow. APOC 5 and 6 there, you can see half of the blue ring inside the rough. APOC 4, your rings are bigger. You'd have about 80% of the blue ring overlapping the rough, but always look at the second bounce as well. You don't want to set up too close to the rough. Max plus 0, power 3, centering the ball here and then hitting perfect. We are going to need our drive distance for the adjustment on the second shot, so make sure you write it down. Important here, don't pull the drive adjustment with any 11.59, otherwise you might land directly in the rough. So if anything, favour a 12.01. 324 yards was our drive. Now, on the second shot, 5 top spin, 3 left spin, and then we're going to set up here with the ball guide going to the hole with the runner. You could really use a different short iron, but I went with the runner because I know most of you will have that maxed out. So that's why I kept with the runner here. 324 yards, playing it 61% slider, 5% elevation, and we're going to pull this one over the bullseye. Try and pull as straight as you can. It's a little bit tricky when you're adjusting on a slope, so do what you can there. It's 2% per yard, so if your drive was longer at 326, for example, you would be nearer the hole, so you'd play your second shot 51% slider instead. Bouncing comfortably in the rough and rolling in for the eagle. Going with the quarterback here, and we have a hole in one. You don't need to use a precision ball, but obviously it will help you to hit perfect. 2.8 backspin and 3 bars side spin to the right. Add your spin first, and then we're going to find our position with the inner ring, or the green ring, whichever you want to call it, touching the rough closest to the green, with the ball guide going through the centre of the hole. Once we've found our position, we adjust 1 to 1. So for an 8 mile per hour wind, I'm going to pull exactly 8 rings. Nope, lining up nicely there, making our adjustment, 8 rings. And then once we've done that, we're going to take our shot, and you'll see here I'm going to centre the ball and then drag it down, finding the point where the circle drops as my overpower reference, and then going back 1 click. So it's just before circle drop overpower, otherwise we're going to land too short because we adjust to a lower point. Catching the rough really safely, single great left and right both safe, falling for the hole in one subject to wind angle tweaks. Drive here, we're going to set up with the quarterback and then switch to APOC. We will need the cataclysm for the second shot. We're adding spin, 3 top spin and 1 right spin, and having half of the red ring inside the rough on the left at P5 max rest. Then I switch to APOC and cataclysm bag. In the video I adjust max plus 0 power 5. However, for my liking, this isn't great left safe, so I would recommend, if you're worried about hitting a great left, to go with power 4 settings instead, just to remove a little bit off the adjustment. Pushing rings to adjust as the tree is also in the way, unfortunately. We're going without a wall curl to the left, no overpower, just focus on hitting perfect, and you can see why I'm recommending you go with power 4 numbers. Look at that first bounce there, it's not a million miles away from the rough, so maybe a bit less on the adjust will be nice, but we're getting to a drive of around 330 yards. Second shot, I'm not going to play at max distance. I want to back up about 5 yards from max to have room to adjust. I'm going with 5 top spin and 2 left spin. Now you can tweak the aim if you want to have a good look at the albatross here. We're on the green safely, it's not a million miles away, but if you want, then you can tweak it. Second bounce in the middle of the rough, up ahead. You might need to tweak the top spin, depending on your drive and also your personal preference. If you think this is going to come in too hot, or you might add some overpower or misadjust then if you want to be a bit more cautious, back off the top spin a little bit. But it's max +5, power 5 settings. Like I said, make sure you set up a few yards away from max. Concentrate on that second bounce. You can see there, landing in the rough very nicely, get a good speed on the green, just missing by half a green square on the right hand side of the hole. And don't forget, next week, the Open. It is totally free to enter this tournament. Master brackets are way easier. I would encourage as many of you to step up as possible, and I'll be helping you along every step of the way in Master Division with totally free to play content. Win yourself some better club cards, win yourself some luminaries, and it doesn't matter if you've not got premium balls. I will give you brilliant free to play options on every hole of green at point. So check us out next week for the Open. Here we're going to play with the quarterback, and we're going with a rough bump. Half a bar of backspin and 2.5 left spin, and then we're finding the P3 min line with the inner ring touching the rough line. There you can see the ball guide with your spin added. If you're in the right place, will be going beyond the hole and missing to the right as shown. Adjustment is 1 to 1 minus 1. So 7.9 in wind. I'm going to adjust 6.9 rings here. Okay, 1 to 1 minus 1. So we're going to go 6.9, pulling in a straight line. There we go. And then we're going to apply circle drop over power. So center the ball, then drag the ball down very slowly. And you want the first point where you see that power circle drop. So circle drop over power, hit perfect, bouncing nicely in the rough. And then we're going to roll onto the green. And this one just drops very nicely for a hole in one. Time to blast it here. Bullseye over the rough line at the top of +24 with APOC 5 and above. That will be P5 max rest with APOC level 4. And then once we've found our position, we're going to add spin. 5.8 top spin and 2 right spin. Might need some wind angle tweaks, of course, with these aggressive shots. Always best to take a token or two if you can. Now, the tree is in the way, so what I do here, it's a bit time consuming and you might need to just make do with a single pull adjustment, but what I do here is I push the first lot of rings, I push 4.5 rings, then I have to turn around and pull the rest because of that tree being in the way. Go with whatever you think is best for you in terms of accuracy and speed. Obviously I don't want you to time out, but it's max +10, power 5, full overpower, 2 balls of curl to the right. I would say if you've got a little bit more top spin available, I would encourage you to try that, maybe 6.2 bars if you've got it, because you might then get on the green. But look at this one, bouncing centre in the fairway, rolling down there and getting a nice roll, and you've got a very nice end bringer wedge there. Like I said, if you've got more top spin, give it a go. We're going to use the quarterback and sniper here. White ring touching the rough on the right at the top of +10 yards. Then we add spin, 1 bar of top spin, 3 bars right spin. Very simple setup, simple adjustment, max +10, power 3 settings. For me, that was 8.4 rings, if I remember correctly, for a 7.9 mile per hour wind. If you're worried about higher winds, then you could adjust this one a little bit more. But it's been fine for me in winds below 8 miles per hour. Just before circle drop over power, full right curl, hit perfect. And then we bounce about a ring away from the rough, so I don't think it's going to threaten the rough, and a ring away from the rough on the right there as well. Drive distance is going to be around 335 to 340. Second shot, making a sand check in line with the pin as best you can, because the trees might be in the way. There you can see it's +3 with sniper 10, so that would be +5 with sniper 9. I'm then adding 2 backspin and 3 left spin, and aiming at the hole, but I'm having the ball guide stopping a few green squares short. Now, I would recommend you go with maybe a tiny bit more backspin here. I dropped this one, but all I'm going to say is thankfully it hit the pin, because if it didn't hit the pin, it would not have dropped. I don't think it would have been in the rough, however, so if you want to tweak the backspin and just control the pace of it, then by all means do so. +3, we're going to go mid-distance, 10% elevation. That's equivalent to 1 on 1, so 7.9 rings. Trees are not going to be in play here, unless you hit like a good left or something, which I hope you're not going to do. Bouncing very nicely, rolling onto the green, and there you can see, hits the pin and falls. If you're enjoying the free content and want to help keep it free and support the channel here, head over to patreon.com/BK Golf Clash. Loads of different membership levels, all have the same perks. You get wind charts early, you get elevation sheets, exclusive content as well, episodes of my club guide series up there as well. So plenty to help you out as membership perks if you want to help support the channel. We're going to go Apoc and Thorn on this one. 5.8 top spin, 3 bars of side spin to the right. I'm going to bounce here at the end of this fairway, have the red ring touching the rough on both sides with Apoc 5 and 6. Apoc 4 is going to be 20% of the red ring overlapping the rough on both sides. So make sure you get those ring references correct. You want the first point where those ring references are valid. Max plus 0, power 3, max plus 0. And then we're going to take our shot. We're going to go with 1 ball of curl to the right and just before circle drop over power. And then we're going to have a pen and paper ready to write down our drive yardage because we need it for the second shot. Bouncing very comfortably, you can't see there due to that unhelpful camera angle, but my other attempts at this one bouncing very nicely away from the rough. Drive distance is going to be around 333 yards. The adjustment on the notepad and in the commentary here is a tweak based on my miss. I'm pretty sure it will drop for you though. Add 1 bar of backspin and set up with the ball guide going just through the hole because we've got a bit of headwind to deal with. Drive distance of 333, I would recommend you go 88% slider, 35 elevation. This one is slightly misadjusted, so that slider percentage given there matches up to a different drive replay, so that's why there's a discrepancy with the drive distance. But should drop for you, it's 2% per yard. Pull it over the bullseye, of course, centre the ball and hit perfect. And with a bit of luck, the tweak that I've given you will be right at the pin instead of just missing on the left-hand side on this par 4. A very inconsistent par 3 here, so I'm just going to go with a navigator. Don't want to waste a kingmaker. We're going to play with the quarterback, blue ring touching the rough on the right at P1 min line. So that's why you can't really use a kingmaker either, unless you wanted, of course, to do a ball swap. But anyway, 4 bars of backspin, no side spin. And then we're going to adjust our rings. So blue ring touching the rough, P1 min line. Make sure you got the sniper packed to find the min line a bit easier. I went with power 1 settings here, min -5. But it's just a little bit under adjusted. So I would try power 2 settings. That will be my next suggestion of a tweak. Min -5, power 2. Very tricky hole to drop this one, and I don't want to really waste too many kingmakers or indeed much time on it. If you get a drop here, it's a very nice bonus indeed, but there are far easier drops to be had on this course in my opinion. Just missing there on the left hand side. Got an albatross here. We're going to go with the quarterback and the sniper. Clear ring touching the rough on the left-hand side at P3 max rest. Adding 1 bar of topspin, 3 bars side spin to the left. And then with our quarterback, we are going to adjust maximum distance with 15% elevation. Using less topspin here because we don't want to catch the glitch roll, but we will still be in range, all being well, with our sniper. So max plus 15, power 3. And once we have made our adjustment, of course, then we need to take our shot. We're going to play this one with full curl to the left. There we go. And just before the circle drops as our overpower reference. Hit perfect on this one. There we are. And it's going to bounce over very nicely. We're not going to get a glitch roll, all being well. And the drive distance here, you're looking for around 320 yards. Second shot, we're going to add spin first. 5 top spin and 3 right spin. The top spin may need to vary though, depending on your drive. But we've got a reference drop here, and it's all about finding a good landing position here. Try and get round the glitches if you can. I'm at max distance with my sniper level 10. Sniper 9 might need to adapt a little bit here, but we want the ball guide. 1 green square before the pin along the line of the shot, looking at the ball in the direction of the hole. So 1 green square before the pin. Might need to add a bit of top spin if you're playing with sniper level 9, of course. Here I'm going max plus 20 because I'm at max distance of my club. For me, that was 10.2 rings. If you are further back from max, then adapt your slider values accordingly. And finally, though, we're going with 3 clicks of underpower because we're just to a higher point. So centre the ball and then go up 3 clicks for your underpower, catching the rough very, very nicely. It's going to be great safe on either side. And there you can see we're just sneaking it in for a lovely albie. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.